niceness. Is that like a thing?
Are we filming?
I think, yeah, we're rolling.
On all cameras?
Yeah.
Well, shit. They ain't gotta accept nothing you don't want to accept in life. You know? But listen to this stuff.
What are we listening to? Where's my phone?
Argue up and down that there's no way. Men will argue up and down that there's no way that Lizzo is in shape. Then turn on the TV and watch their favorite 300-pound offensive lineman play a 2-hour game. I see the parallels. Just an observation for today.
That's a horrible observation.
Did she just compare Lizzo to a 300-pound offensive lineman?
I think she did. I think she just compared Lizzo to a 300-pound offensive lineman. I'm not sure how I feel about that. I'm not sure how Lizzo should feel about that.
I don't know how anybody. I don't even know what her point was.
No one knows. I don't think she knows. Well, let me stop lying. Her point was that you can't say Lizzo's out of shape if you say offensive lineman's not out of shape.
Okay. Let's keep it here. Right? Let's keep it here. When has anyone ever seen Lizzo run? Or play a sport at that matter? Right. If we're watching someone that's 300 pounds play a sport, do you think they would be in shape, especially if it's a professional sport? You think they'd be in some type of shape?
Yes.
Regardless of the size?
Yeah.
So I don't see the correlation that she's trying to say, like, Lizzo's out of shape. Like, she's not out of shape, but we can watch linemen.
I mean, if Lizzo is running a super fast 40...
I have no problem with that. But I highly doubt Lizzo is running a super fast 40.
We don't know. Lizzo, are you running 40-yard sprints or whatever? I don't know. Like,
people could be under 150 pounds and still be out of shape.
Yes. Facts.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think what she said was well thought out.
Nah.
I don't. And shout out to Lizzo. This is not nothing to not trying to bash Lizzo. It's just the thinking process behind some people. Really makes me wonder. About civilization.
I gave up on civilization.
It's the
no. Look, like.
That's funny.
I just gave up.
Let me make sure I don't got a fucking camel toe like I did in the last video.
What? I need you to stop. I can't with that. I can't with you in that.
How you feeling, cousin?
I'm tired. I'm sleepy. The hustle, the grind,
it's
whatever.
Hey.
So I heard one time it's not grinding if you're working for somebody else. How do you feel about that?
It's not grinding if you're working for somebody else. I absolutely think that's a 100% false.
Oh, please do share.
Because I believe your grind can come from anything, whether it be a 9-to-5, a side hustle, you creating something, building something. I think your grind is your lifestyle. Because you can have a 9-to-5 and then bust and do a side hustle. You know what I'm saying? We do it.
Right, but
you know what I'm saying? Like,
but I think you missed my statement there.
Talk to me then.
You're not grinding if it's a 9-to-5. So if all you do is your 9-to-5,
no, I know.
Okay.
I'm including that because my 9-to-5 is not something that I want to. I don't see myself doing that for a long time. It's a part of my building of an empire. So my grind is that 9-to-5 because that's something that does that make sense? Like, it's a part of the ultimate plan.
Right, but what if the 9-to-5 is the only plan?
Then that's not a grind. That's just you doing your job. I mean, Nah, I can't really knock it because if you working and you working for every dollar, every penny, then I feel like that's a grind.
So,
Cause like let's just say somebody got a 9 to 5, but they trying to elevate themselves in the position of the company that they work for. You grinding to get to the top. So technically, you're still grinding. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a different type of grind.
but all right. So you can grind if you own the 9 to 5.
Yeah, hell yeah,
if you're
shit,
trying
yeah.
to get to this top, you're trying to be CEO, COO, whatever.
CFO, something though.
Right. You're trying to be in the C-suite.
That's what they call it.
That's what they
Never
call
been
it.
there, but
Right. But what if somebody just wants to go to work, do their position really well, but never wants to get promoted?
that's not grinding.
That's not grinding.
You could do that with a side hustle. Make just enough. That's not grinding. That's working. Grinding is the extra. Going the extra mile.
It's going the extra mile.
Grinding
That's what grinding
grinding
is.
is going extra mile.
Going the extra mile.
Going the extra mile. Don't never leave your hustle at home. Take it with you wherever you go. That's what my mama told me. Never leave your hustle at home. Okay? What's up, y'all? It's your boy Long Live Moshi. And
Oscar.
we back at it again with another You Good Digital podcast. We finally got it together on the name, man.
That's been a tough road.
It's been a long journey.
I'll say this, though. Don't wait to start producing.
Produce.
Just produce. The name will come.
Wait. Let's since we talk about grinding, and we'll get to what we talk. Since we talk about grinding and hustling, let's give a little bit of insight on the process of this hustle that we're doing.
The podcast?
Or
the network?
Creating both.
All of that.
Both. Let's talk about it.
I drive 80 miles.
Wait, without really giving disclosures on where we at.
Oh, I still drive 80 miles.
Okay, yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, before you be like, we at...
Yeah, blank.
Yeah.
No, so I drive anywhere from 1:15 to 2 hours, depending on traffic.
Yeah.
Then I set up a bunch of lights, a bunch of mics, a bunch of cameras. And let me tell you about the audio struggles.
Oh, man. The struggle.
The struggle is real.
The struggle bus. Tell them.
Because it's difficult.
Tell them how we first started with the first podcast.
The first podcast?
The very first, the introduction. The very first
The introduction.
episode.
Like, I had left a light up here. And I brought another light. And I had like an umbrella in a softbox. And I was like, oh, this is going to look like trash. But we're going to do it anyway. So I kind of set it up to the side. And sure enough, it looked like trash. Like I thought it would. And I got to thinking. I was like, this ain't going to do. So I bought 2 new softboxes. Look, it's a
tell
lot.
them about the audio. We had lavaliers.
The lavaliers, man. Like,
it was killing us for
I could not figure out, like, the Zoom HM4, it's great, right? I just couldn't figure out how to make it work. And it's not even that I couldn't figure out how to make it work. Doing audio is a lot different when you can actually monitor the audio during the recording than setting everything up and saying, I hope this is good.
Right.
So I think that's kind of like the struggle about it and how we trying to produce it. You know, like, there's lots of approaches on podcasts. You have podcasts where people are talking straight into the mic and everything. That tends to be a little simpler, but you also still have people on those podcasts like monitoring audio levels, monitoring the cameras. It's just us.
What you see right here on the camera?
That's it.
It's manning 3 different cameras. 2 soft boxes and
2
the lights, 2 mics, the interface, the audio, like the setup, you know what I'm saying? The topics, the editing is me. Like it's
so much equipment in here that they tried to tow my car because they thought I was moving in.
Yeah, they for sure thought you were moving in as well. They were like,
nope.
Sticker on it, you gonna move this, man.
Don't come back, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot, and I do because we both. He has a career, I have a job, and I know it's a little bit harder for him, especially with the commute and everything. I have to go to my job, so I have to commute that way about an hour. do my work and then come back and I take a nap sometimes while he's set up.
It's a process, but it's so worth it.
No, absolutely. It's
so
been worth
worth
it
it.
since day one.
And so I bought this FX3.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I'm gonna use this camera.
Right.
And then I accidentally bought 2 more cameras.
Accidentally. So this fool, we was working with what? We had two cameras, right?
We had 3. We've always had 3
We always
cameras.
had 3 cameras.
But my camera kept overheating.
God, yeah, it kept overheating and stopping. We had to go back and press it, and you can see that in the the
if you go back to the other
episodes. If you go back to
episodes.
episodes before, you'll see it. He go back and checking, and I'm checking. We had the iPads up,
Right,
to make
just
sure
everything
was going on, and he's like, I think I'm gonna buy another camera.
I was only gonna buy one. I was gonna buy the FX30. And then I went to the camera store.
No, let me show you from my point of view. This fool walked in the house. He brings all the stuff in, all the equipment in, the department to set up. And I'm in there cooking. And I noticed he brought a bag and he was quiet. Didn't say nothing this time. Usually he come in, we talking over there, came in, he was quiet, walked in, he put the bag down, got everything, he started unloading everything. So I know he went to go buy a camera because he told me he was before he came. So I'm looking, and he just, he quiet, whatever the case may be, very little talking. I walk over to the bag. He just instantly starts smiling. I said, "What you got in the bag?" It's that smile right there. it's that smile right there. I said, "What you got in the bag?" I pick up the bag. There's 2 different cameras in there. 2 different cameras. Now you can tell your side of the story.
So I was going.
You know you on some bullshit when you got to take a deep breath before you start.
I was going by the FX30 because it's like the crop center entry level of entry level cinema cameras for Sony, and I was like, I was thinking about it, and I'm worried about a couple other things and everything, and I'm talking to the people in the camera store,
Right.
and then I was like, well, maybe I'll just buy the FX6 instead of the FX30. And the dude in the camera store was like, whoa, brother. He's like, whoa.
Slow your roll.
He's like, why don't you get comfortable with the FX3 first before you jump up to the FX6? I was like, all right.
He saved you a little bit.
It would have cost the same amount as these other 2, but I mean.
Okay.
But then I was like, oh, well, I'll just buy the A1. He's like, yeah, that'd be a good camera and everything. I was like, well, I could just buy these 2 cameras for the price of the A1. And it was only like a $200 difference. These were like $200 more expensive, but it's 2.
Yeah.
Like, it's 2 cameras.
Yeah.
And then we came in, we recorded with those cameras. No
Flawless.
overheating. Nothing. Just
Flawless with the video.
the video's good.
Flawless with the video.
The audio.
I've been able to edit it, get the color in, you know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
been flawless with the video.
He actually taught me something because he's like, yeah, I just go and press this button. I was like, what?
Hey, YouTube University.
Right.
If you ever need anything, he walked in today. I was watching some informational shit. I mean, I watched that all. I love searching and being knowledgeable on whatever I'm about to get myself
Look,
into.
if you can't figure out how to do what you want to do outside of being a doctor,
Yeah.
outside like doing something where like a doctor or something, if you can't figure out what you want to do, you probably could learn how to be a doctor. But
Honestly, but I wouldn't recommend it.
I would not. I wouldn't let you surgery on me.
You ever heard that little boy, that little 14-year-old, 15-year-old boy that was practicing? He had a fake practice. Like, that's a whole,
in Florida.
Yeah.
He got
got
caught
caught again.
for something else. Look, so I get like, it's funny you bring that up because like I only heard about. I listened to the Sana Morning Show on KMEL.
Okay.
Love Sana G. If you ever hear this podcast, what's up? Have me on your show.
Just send it to her.
You know, I should. I'm gonna send like,
I'm not a radio listener, so I'm not.
Oh, Sana G, that's my girl.
Yeah,
Sana
okay.
G, Biz, DJ Lex Jones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to all of y'all.
Yeah.
Shout out to the gang.
Gang. But they were also talking about what's the boy's
I
name?
forgot it. I don't know his name.
No, I'm talking about. That's where I get a lot of my news from, because otherwise I ain't up on current events.
Right.
The Blue.
Wait, hold on, go back. We'll go back to the grind. Go back to the grind.
To the
We
grind.
go back to the grind. The grind.
All right.
This for us
Oh, this is a grind.
is a grind.
I'm tired.
Is it?
I can't even tell you what time it is.
I can.
What?
Alexa. But I'm not.
Yeah, it's.
Believe it or not, it's really late early.
Yeah, it's late and early at the
That's
same
the
time.
best time I can give you without giving you our time schedule. Because
Right.
we work.
Just
We
whenever necessary.
We really work. Like, for real, for real. So all this, when you see anything from the You Good Digital, just know we working and we working and we
working and grinding
and working some more.
And working some more. Hey, make sure they check out. They gotta check out the food.
Oh yeah.
What's
While
on
y'all
there?
at it, let me look into this camera. This is my camera right here. How you doing? How you doing, ladies and gents? You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys check out the What's on the Menu right now. It's uploaded to our channel, the You Good Digital channel. The channel that you're watching right now. What's on the Menu, hosted by my homegirl Cam. It's where we go around the city and try different foods, and she does like a food review on the food reviews on how they eat all the food and get their little ratings and everything. So we're gonna be doing that around the town. Make sure you guys go check that out right now.
You Good Digital, or like right after this video.
Matter of fact, after this video, watch this video and then go check it out, and then watch another video and then check that out. But like you were saying, you was listening to the radio, and then you were saying something about
What's the guy Blue and the Christian and I don't know, like fighting and baby mamas.
Blueface and Chrisean Rock. I almost said Christian. Messing around with you. Blueface
How old are
and
they?
Chrisean. Google is my friend. Watch this. Siri, how old is Blueface? Blueface is 26 years old.
Dang.
Siri, how old is Chrisean Rock? Damn, it say 55 years old.
I don't think that's true.
Oh, it said Christian Rock.
Yo, so before you even find out her age, at 26, like,
Damn, she 22.
yo, they young.
Damn, they young.
They kids still. When I was 26, I didn't know which way was up or down. Like, I was just out here just
Thugging it.
Bruh, drunk.
I mean, I ain't too far.
When I was
I ain't too far
26?
off 26, but
When I was
older than
26, I was drunk.
Oh, they are too.
Clearly.
They drunk beating on each other.
How's the
Trigger warning. We do not condone any DV. I say DV, and you know what I'm talking about. I say it because YouTube is, they have their censorship. We do not condone
At all.
DV on any side of
Zero.
the spectrum, whether it be man, woman and man. We don't condone it. This is conversational purposes. Again, these are our opinions, and we are sharing it with you guys. If you disagree, just comment below. We can have a discussion.
Yeah.
But yeah.
How's the beating go bold? Like, it just I'm
very big on Twitter, and that's what
Okay.
I've been seeing most of it at. Like, I'm not
Okay.
a radio person like you. I'm a Twitter person. I get all my information for Twitter.
Are you like, is Black Twitter still a thing?
Black Twitter is very much a thing. I think Black Twitter actually is Twitter. That's how much it's
just Twitter. So
it's just Twitter.
everything else is
everything else is just subpar.
got it.
I think
Okay.
Black Twitter is
Continue about
But
your news that you get from
I've been
Twitter.
seeing it. I did it on my Talks and Mostly channel. Make sure you go subscribe to that. I did a video a while back on it, like when they first got together, and I was like, this is like horrible. It's very detrimental to people's their mental health. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't know. I can't really say who's at fault. I say a lot of stuff on Twitter just to get reactions from people.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be. If you take my Twitter serious, good luck with not being triggered, right? But after like recently, it's been like a thing to where it's almost like, are they safe?
Based on what I heard, the short answer is no.
I've seen clips of them actually fighting in the middle of the street. I've seen 2 clips of them fighting. One recently, then another one like a couple months ago maybe. They was fighting in the middle of the street. It was raining, and then I don't watch their show. I just see clips, like I said, on Twitter. And I heard she hit this man in the head with a bottle. Yeah, he had a gash in the back. I watched the recent No Jumper podcast where they interviewed both of them. It was it wasn't Sharp Tank. Sharp Tank, he interviewed both of them, Blueface and Chrisean Rock, and even they was going at it literally on camera, like going at it. She's talking about, I think I might be pregnant. She's drinking Hennessy, like, bro, it's cause it's crazy. It's something. It's people are making a joke saying it's giving Bobby and Whitney, but even Bobby and Whitney wasn't like this. Maybe the drugs was there,
right?
But from what I remember, because I was young, I was super young. From what I remember, to even just look back on it, I don't even think it was this bad.
So first off,
yeah, you can break all that down. You could just
like
I know it's a lot of information.
Comparing them to Bobby and Whitney, like I know people make comparisons so they could kind of wrap their mind around stuff.
They can understand a little bit more,
right? But leave that. It's not okay.
I wouldn't even compare him to Ike and Tina.
Yeah. It's not okay. Like that's the point I'm trying to make. It's just not okay. Why even compare them? Because it's not okay.
People need something. People need examples to understand things.
Right. But I can't even. I don't even want to say when did this type of behavior become okay. Right.
What, the comparison or the actual DV?
All of it.
Gotcha.
Like I get the comparison because people need because I compare things to like have a frame of reference, right? Yeah, so that's why I think comparison is all about, right? Frame of reference. So I get that a little bit, but the only comparison should be, is this healthy for either of these people? And the short answer is no. And the long answer is hell no.
And the even longer answer is hell to the MF no.
Right. Because it's like...
Right.
And I wonder, like, if at one point it started out as like a, let's get some attention, so let's behave like this, or is this actually how they feel? Right.
I personally, from observing their situation from afar, because I see it, but I'm not going to look for it. You know,
right.
Some things you just can't help but see.
Right.
And that's one of the situations. Like, that's why I say observing from afar. It seems like they're trauma bonded.
Yeah.
It seems like they are both going through something externally. When I say externally, I mean outside of the relationship.
Right.
That they're using each other to cope with, and that usually never
that's not gonna turn out well.
Like, I even tweeted it. I said because I watched the interview with Sharp Tank, and he was and you know, Blueface was kind of referencing, like, he's like, I love her, I see the good in her, but she crazy, she act out, she flash, she does this. And then the co-host, the chick, was like, do you feel safe? He was like, yeah, you know, he kind of like brushed it off. And I was like, dude, don't feel safe.
Nah.
And I tweeted, before I even seen that, I said, she gonna mess around and hurt that man to a point to where there's no return. And I don't want to say it on, because, you know, YouTube. Right. She's gonna hurt that man to a point to where there's no return. And even they said it. They was like, I asked her, like, do you think you would hurt him to a point of no return? Type. And I forgot her response, but it just kind of made me think, like, y'all don't really, like, I don't know, I can't even fathom think the way they think. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, I mean, I can to an extent, because at 20, like I said, 26 and 22, like, you're still you might not be developing anymore, but there's still a lot of experience that you haven't had. And I think what could be making this even, it could either be making it worse or better, is the fact that they're in the limelight and they are getting all this attention. I don't know if it makes it worse or better. It might make it better. It might keep them from doing stuff off the deep end.
Honestly, I don't. If the limelight wasn't on them, I don't even think they'd be going this far.
So you think the limelight's making it worse?
Yeah. Yeah. From seeing how she's evolved into what she is, I think it's making it worse.
So it's kind of like
she's starting to feel like she's untouchable.
They're getting positive reinforcement for negative actions.
They got a show from it. When that's a reward. When you get a show, you're rewarding these people for their quote unquote talent.
So this is look, this is taking a turn somewhere I didn't know or think it was gonna go. But are they? If they're getting rewarded for their behavior, I don't think they're the problem. I think the people giving them the rewards are the problem.
Oh, talk to me. His manager is Whack 100. I don't know if you know that.
Look,
or if you even know who that is.
No, I don't. So the manager, not necessarily, because the manager is just trying to capitalize off the opportunities, right? I think it's the networks and the public and everybody. We are wrong for it, right? Because we're giving them so much attention. We're praising this negative stuff, and these are people who need help.
Well, we talked about it offline. Controversy sells.
It does. And again, the audience and the networks are the problem for that, right?
Yeah. But I mean, like, you can only sell something. This is my argument when people say they sell black people, the black community, detrimental things. They only sell you what you ask for.
Right. I don't disagree with that.
Because if I'm not buying into it, they stop selling it. That's anything across the board. If a company is producing something that's not selling, they stop selling it.
True. My only rebuttal to that would be if they just stop putting trash TV on TV and and big companies stop making it a thing and stop pushing it and only pushed educational stuff.
It doesn't have to be educational.
Just push stuff that's not like violent and not detrimental to anybody. Doesn't matter if black, white, whatever. If they just put stuff on there that wasn't detrimental, do you think the mindsets of people would change?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Because putting stuff out like Blueface and Chrisean Rock, it does two things. Creates conversation and puts a divide right between black men and black women. Because some men are going to say he's right for defending himself. Women are going to say she's right because he's the abuser. I see it all up and down Twitter.
Right.
I engage in it because Twitter is laugh, funds, trolls. Again, if you take anything I say serious on Twitter, good luck, because I'm not apologizing for nothing I said. Yeah, good luck. But
you genuine.
I'm genuine, but I ain't shit. But it puts a divide between us, and it's feeding us BS.
This conversation get heavy.
That's all right. We here.
No, so yes, I see that divide, but it's just like, you know what my solution to all of this is?
No.
Raise better children.
Simple.
It's really that simple.
Very simple.
Because, like, when you after someone's a certain age, no, you don't think it's simple?
I just thought about something.
What?
Go ahead.
So I think after a certain age, like, people can change, but
Okay, that's where I was going.
No, after a certain, people definitely can change, but I know a lot of the way I'm shaped is because of how I was raised.
Yeah.
Right? My dad, he was like, I raised you to be a square. Right?
Yeah,
like he literally
did a damn good job.
Yeah, he literally said that to me, and I was like, oh.
Yeah.
But and so it's just like, if we raise better children, then we would have better adults.
Absolutely. But sometimes people get trauma can take you away from that. Life can take you away from that.
Oh, it's not easy.
Yeah, I know my throat's up. That's the damn corn chips I was eating.
They still over there.
Nah, they right here.
I would have some if I wasn't trying to like.
Nah, yeah.
Y'all got me up here. I'd be looking at the podcast. I was like, oh.
But I do want to say, yeah, it's the parents' fault. But then again, it's like, what age do you get to where it's like you start to listen? Because some people really break away from what's going on. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Mind you, when you have the combination of drugs, sex, money, alcohol, fame, what can you tell somebody? What can you? And then in today's age, what can you tell a person with more money than you? You know, a lot of these people think having more money makes you better, and it's like, bro, you can still be lame with money.
I think there are actually lots of lame people.
There's
with
probably
money.
yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's a lot of lame people with money, and I think trying to tell like a son or a daughter making the money in the family, and then they paying their parents' bills, and then the parent trying to tell them something, but they're a celebrity. It's like, hey, I'm the reason why we here.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like,
But that parent also raised them to be a celebrity or whatever they did, or
some
maybe.
didn't.
So that's true.
Some didn't. Some of these, I don't think Blueface was raised to be nothing. He was actually a great football player. I saw some highlights of him when he was in high school. Dude could ball for real. Like, he could have played out of college, D1 or D2.
I don't know. I think everything's theoretical. Not theoretical, but there are answers to a lot of it. But at the end of the day, there does have to be some level of self-responsibility.
Well, I mean, but like you said earlier, now that I'm thinking about it, like at 26 and 22, with the little bit, I ain't gonna say they rich or nothing like that. With a little bit of money, a lot of fame.
It's hard.
Like, I didn't even mention this. She fought his mother and his sister. And then he fought her daddy. And they fight each other. Same. Same.
I don't be speechless all the time, but it's just
Same. It's scary.
yeah. How old are your parents?
She's the youngest of 12, I think.
Of 12?
Yeah, like 10 or 12, some crazy, or 9, something somewhere along the lines of that.
At what point do people say, well, instead of fighting to solve your problems, let's debate. Let's have a spelling bee.
Man,
Let's rate like
black people don't do that.
I know. I'm saying. At what point could we do something like that? Like
Black, when you hold the mirror up to black people, they always crucify the person that's holding the mirror up. I've been that person. You can even go look at my Twitter. I say what's wrong with what black men do. They call me Charleston White. I don't know if you know who that is, but they know who Charleston White is. If I say something is wrong with the women, they turn around and say, I must not like black women. This and that. I'm just calling a spade what a spade is.
right.
Like, I posted on Twitter, I was like, why do y'all get naked on your birthdays and post pictures? Like, what's the point of that?
It's a birthday suit.
One of my homegirls mentioned that. That's what they said. It's like, it's a birthday suit. I was like, that makes sense. Left it at that. Another one of my homegirls, shout out to both my homegirls. I love y'all. I'm just conversation. You know I love y'all. Don't make me, You know what I'm saying? I'm slaying. But another one of my homegirls is like, oh, I'm tired of y'all coming at women, this and that, this and that. I'm like, I'm not coming at women. I'm just asking, like, why they got their butt, why they butt naked on the ground? For me, I asked the question because I know what it stems from. It's attention seeking. Anytime you have to take clothing off to express yourself, it's attention seeking.
I can't 100% agree with that.
Okay, well then tell me why.
Because I'm a photographer, and there is, like, I've shot boudoir, I've shot nude, but I always...
That's different if you're doing it for the art of it.
Right, so they... Depending on how it's done.
Because you gotta remember, I'm an artist too.
Right,
so
but...
I understand. I've seen dances when they don't have anything on.
Right.
And I'm not looking at it the same as if somebody is just trying to post for the gram.
Right. I mean, that's the point. I was going to get to, like, it depends on what the delivery
purpose.
is.
Yeah, it's the purpose. And they knew what I meant when I said what I said.
Right.
I didn't say, why did you hire Vogue's photographer so you can pose naked for a shoot that might be published? That's a different,
Right.
It's a different ballpark. Now we're
Right.
talking about something completely different. I'm asking, why are you doing it for the niggas you know that's following you on your gram because you got
So what if
yams back there?
So what if they just did it
I
and
ain't
didn't
gonna lie.
post the pictures?
Oh, wait. Before we get started, I will double tap the yams. So I'm not exempt from the yam liking. Okay?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But so are you're saying the only reason why you are raising a question about it
To
is
provoke thought.
okay. So let me ask you this.
Because provoking thought will birth the seed of maybe or maybe not. Maybe this is wrong. Maybe this is right. But let's talk about it.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Do you do that often?
Even post. I say niggas should go to jail. They're like, don't snitch. I'm like, nigga, I'll snitch. If it's not my family, and I do hold code to my family, I will say that. It's a double standard for me. If it's not my family, I'm not doing 30 years for nobody I don't know.
That's fair.
I'm not a street nigga. I'm going to tell you that right now. Will I handle mine? Yes. Will I protect mine? Yes. Am I going to stand on respect? Yes. Am I going to hold my ground? Yes. But I'm not doing the extras.
Right.
I'm not trying to be tough. I'm not doing none of that. I don't owe no street name, code, number, my life. We living on what? In Berkeley, we live on Ashby. Let's just say Ashby. Like, nigga, I'm not about to go die for Ashby.
Nope.
I don't care who. I don't give a fuck about none of them. Does Uncle Oscar have any real estate on Ashby?
Oh, there's some stuff over there, but not really. No.
My grandmother has no real estate in Ashby.
It's like
My father has no real estate in that. Does Auntie have any real estate in?
it's near Ashby, but
Near
it's not
Ashby.
on Ashby.
Okay, all right. What about outside of Ashby?
Like,
No. Real estate. Okay, that area.
Yeah.
I'm not about to go to war for that area.
Nah. It's not worth it.
I don't see the point in it. When I was young, it was different because that's what my mind was. That's what I was not raised because my parents had raised me that way. That's just the culture I grew up in, the people I grew up around, the areas I grew up in, it's my surroundings. I was a product of my environment. But as a grown man, you do the crime, you do the time.
Yeah.
My brother is in jail for 10 years for an accident that he can't dispute.
Right.
He's doing the time. He said, I did it. I'm going to do my bid. And when I get out, I'm going to make my life something.
Right.
That's rehabilitation. That's
Right.
how you accept your fault. We got niggas that go to jail for actually deleting somebody. I ain't going to say the K word, but deleting somebody. And then everybody in the community like, free so-and-so, free this, free that, free. No, keep that nigga in jail. Like, what are we talking about?
Right.
keep that nigga in jail. He or she, whatever, is the worst kind of person for us. And I'm not even a blackity black community type of nigga. Like, I am who I am. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I do love my people. And I do love everybody. But because I am this color, I have to fix my house. I have to fix my house, which was my
Right.
immediate family, and then I fix the houses that are on the outside. And the next house outside of my house is being black. And then after being black, it's the world.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I tweeted and I posted on my Instagram. Like, I'm gonna change the world one day.
I mean, you done already changed the world.
No, yes, but I'm gonna change the world. Like,
Gonna change it.
My words, my actions,
All that.
everything is gonna surpass all of everything that I'm doing right now.
So it's funny. So Instagram, I be going down the black hole of scroll.
That's a nice name, the Black Hole of Scroll.
Yeah,
The
but
Black Hole of Scroll. Don't take that from my cousin.
I saw Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
He was like, an average man conforms to the world. A stubborn man tries to make the world conform to him. The world can't move forward without stubborn men.
He got that from a book. I forgot which
No,
book.
yeah, I'm
I forgot
sure.
which book. Yeah,
I'm sure.
Nah,
'Cause-
I seen him. I heard him say that.
Yeah.
Repeat it again for me.
Essentially, an average person conforms to the world. A stubborn person tries to make the world conform to them.
and
There's
we
no
need
moving
more.
forward without.
We need more stubborn people. I'm stubborn as shit.
Ooh, we know.
We know, but that's the reason why I was able to get to where I was in my dance career and I am in life. You know what I'm saying?
I'm glad you're
Like,
stubborn.
because when I have a vision, I have a vision. It's that simple. Like, we
Can't let people deter you.
can't let people deter me at all. But going back to my conversation, going back to the overall point, you can wrap that up. There's a saying. If you don't want people to like you, hold the mirror up to their face. I think that's what it was. I might be paraphrasing, but
What are you trying to get at?
so the overall point is if you don't want people to like you, show them who they really are.
Yeah.
And I've had that problem my whole life because I'm the type of person I'll tell you what you're doing, whether you like it or not. Because I'm an equal opportunist. I don't care. And I hold myself to that standard as well. Sometimes of course I'm biased. I have my own bias to myself. But if somebody comes in and say you do this a lot,
Oh, I know. I've told you. I've called you on stuff you've done.
what have I done?
You be like, all right, cool. I'll fix it.
And it gets done.
Yeah.
You know, whether I agree with it or not, like, I have to hold myself accountable. You know what I'm saying? Because if people like you are telling me something, and there's a good group of people that can tell me something and I'll take it into consideration, I'll listen. Because I know y'all not about to steer me wrong.
Not intentionally.
Like if my stepdad tell me something, he don't talk much. But when he talk,
You listen.
I'll listen. Because he be like, I'll let you do what you want. He that type.
Right.
But then he'd be like, nah, you got to do, whoa, you need to do that. You tripping. Say less. When you be like, oh, cousin, this, not. You right. Say less.
Yeah.
You know, Ariel say something. You right. My mother, my grandmother, I got to question them. I got to question them.
Hey, don't come at my auntie like that. I was just joking.
But she'll tell you, I got to question them. Because sometimes my mom gets worked up and she works off of her emotion, which we talked about in a previous podcast.
Yeah.
So she'll work off of emotion. My grandmother will enable me.
Yeah.
I can go catch 5 bodies right now.
Yeah.
And go to my grandmother's house and she'll be like, where's the shovel?
Yeah, I know.
And you know this.
I know.
So I can't really I gotta tread lightly on that side.
Right.
And they do tell me stuff, and I do listen. I love my grandmother. I love my mother. I listen to what they have to say.
Keep going.
But this nigga, he's so precise.
I've just been looking at it the whole time.
A little bit more right there. Yep. A little bit more. Nah, you gotta have to push it up a little more because it might drop. Look, see, this is what we talk about when you got a 2-man crew. You gotta man everything by yourself. But I have to tread lightly when it comes to them because they love me so much. They want the best for me. They'll let me slide for a lot of things.
Right.
So
yeah.
I have to look at even Uncle Oscar. Uncle Oscar can tell me something. I'll listen for sure. You know, I live with y'all. You know, back in the day.
Yeah.
I went to Malcolm X Middle School right off Ashby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Ashby.
Was it elementary school? Malcolm X Elementary. Yeah. So I listen because I told you before. I was watching those videos and you walked in. Success leaves a blueprint.
Yes.
I stand by that.
Yes.
Like.
Yes. Yeah. Whew.
So I didn't mean to cut you off on what you about to say, but yeah.
No, I believe that. I still can't get over the Blueface and the Chrisean or like
Blueface and Chrisean, Chrisean. Yeah, it's crazy because like,
could you be in a relationship like that, or would you swiftly exit?
I'm not gonna get that deep on this podcast.
Okay,
but no, I would never be in a relationship like that. Because of you know.
I was told.
Yeah,
right. I was told by my father, his uncle. If you ever feel that strongly that you got to do something to a partner you're with, just leave.
Just leave. Me the same thing.
Just leave. And look.
But Uncle Oscar also told me if you ever walk into a place and if you make eye contact with another man, you don't break eye contact. That's probably how I got into most of my fights to growing up.
You know, so
just not breaking eye contact, and it's like, hey, nigga, who you like? What you looking at? What show you got an issue?
But you also got to remember, like, Pops is from the streets.
Yeah, so, but that was probably damn near 10 years ago.
I was young.
I don't even think I was. I probably was 8. I probably had just hit 18 when he told me that.
That's like that. That's a. That's a street thing. Man. Yeah, that's a street. That was street advice. You leave. That was like square advice. Yeah, you gotta.
But he right though. Uncle Oscar's definitely right. Like, and I believe if you put yourself in that situation, fight or flight.
Yeah. And
fight never does anything. Nobody wins if it's a fight.
Right.
Just let it go. You know what I'm saying? I strongly believe if I'm ever dating a woman and she gets me to a point to where I do feel like that, we don't have nothing to talk about anymore.
Zero.
Because now you know how to get me out of my comfort zone, and that is dangerous.
It's not out of your comfort zone.
Not out of my comfort zone.
Out of your character.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah. Out of my character, and that's dangerous.
Right. Yeah. You want
even though right now today nobody can really get me out of my character. Like,
right.
I deal with so much like my social. People think I be so serious in my social media. I be like, little do you know, I'm a whole different type of person in real life. Like, I protect my energy.
Yeah.
Friends can't even get me upset. I'll just stop responding to your text message.
Yeah, we're done. Really? Oh, I'll tell people. I'm finished with this conversation. If you would like to change the topic, we can. And if not, I will hang up on you.
You better than me. You better than me because I don't even want to talk to you. I've had to get off the phone with my mother sometimes. I gave her that grace of like, Ma, you tripping, you doing too much, I'll call you back. Like,
yeah. I try to give everybody a little grace because people go through stuff.
I don't care.
Yeah, well.
That don't mean take it out on me.
True. But that's why you set that boundary, like, look.
No. I feel like people have to learn, because what if you're talking to a teenager or a child? They don't understand the language of setting boundaries yet.
True. And that's why, like, whenever I've seen an adult addressing a child in a way that could be harmful, I'll address the adult. I'm like, look, you need to stop talking to that child like that.
That's a slippery slope, boy.
I do it. I do it with adults and children that I'm familiar with, and no.
Do you know what I do? Because I've been in those positions.
Mm-hmm.
I give a different energy to the child. So if their parents are angry with them, because I'm not their parent, I don't have any kids yet.
Right.
You know, my baby is still brewing.
Yeah.
But you know,
coming soon.
Right, just loading. But I flip the script. So let's say, you know, the kid, this, that. I was like, I make a joke, man. Leave him alone with this and that. Come with me, woo. Like, let's play. Like, don't let it.
Right.
You know, let's.
If I am gonna call the adult out, there's only specific adults and specific children I'll do it in front of the child. Right. But most of the time, I try to do it at a later date or behind a closed door or whatever. Like, look, you know.
Because telling somebody how to deal with their child
in front of their child, it's just hard no.
It ain't even in front. It could be in front, behind, like, especially because I've been told by my friends, like, they're like, oh, when you have kids, you'll understand. But I'm to a point to where I'm like, I know who I am as a person, and I know what I want to instill into my child. Right. And I know the discipline that I want to put there. And I say discipline, I don't mean spankers. I mean, like, the information that I want to.
Right.
So, you know, when I'm long and gone, she'll be raised right. She'll have, well, my daddy raised me like this. People think I'm a bend on that. It's like, I'm not bending on that.
Right.
Those are morals. Like, you don't bend on morals and principles.
Right. And so maybe, like, I didn't fully communicate what I meant. I tried to explain to the person how what they're saying can impact that child. You say these words can impact that child this way.
Right.
So maybe think about how you communicate to them. And I learned that from an ex of mine when I was, like, around her child a lot and everything. She kind of told me about the words I was using, and then I read some books and listened. Right. And I was like, oh, and I started realizing how powerful words are. Like,
Proverbs 12:18, I think the words of the wise pierce like a sword, but something in the Bible about your tongue being a sword. It could cut or heal.
Yeah. And, like, even when I'm talking about myself or talking about things I'm gonna do, I try to phrase it in such a way where it's actionable or it's positive or it's on the up and up. So, like, I want to clear it up. I ain't trying to be nobody's parent on how they parent. It's more of I just want to, like, let them know or give them some insight I've had with my experiences of how words have impacted me.
Right.
And how it could possibly and potentially impact their child.
And that's why I personally feel like people should be taking a test to see if they can have to birth kids or not.
I'm not going to disagree, but yeah.
Bro, no. Chrisean Rock is pregnant. We have babies having babies. She's not even mentally she could be. She's old enough to be an adult, but she's not even mentally an adult. She's in an abusive relationship. And she's bringing a child into this life, into this world with this mindset.
Happens all the time, unfortunately.
But that's not good.
No, it's definitely not.
That's why I feel like.
That's why I said raise better children.
When you're pregnant, or before you get pregnant, or before you're even allowed to be pregnant.
Here comes another slippery slope we about to get on.
Man, I look, hey, Roe v. Wade is real popping over here in the California state.
Yeah.
You can go right to the little oo-wop, bop, e-wop. You know what I'm saying? Like, without saying it. But I think, and yes, it sounds like, you know, we putting restrictions on people, but putting restrictions on people, put this aside real quick. Put this example aside real quick. Putting restrictions on people sometimes benefits the people. It's almost like you saving your. We're saving you from yourself.
Right.
That's how maybe the government may look at it. We're saving you from yourself. Now let's get to this. And I'm just speaking. You know, this is not like I don't think anybody's gonna be taking a test for pregnancy, but I feel like there should be some type of checks and balances to where maybe you get a psychological test to see if you're mentally equipped to be able to provide or for a child or raise a child, because it's a lot. I know it's a lot of work. I teach kids for a living.
Yeah.
Dealing with them for a couple hours is a headache. And I send their ass home to their parents. You know what I'm saying? And now I have a child on the way. I have friends that tell me I know it's a lot of work. People should be mentally stable. I'm not even talking about financially stable. We can get past money comes and goes.
Right.
Mentally stable enough to be able to raise a child. And I'm not talking about people with like disabilities or anything like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who are holding on to trauma and the decision making and just that should be.
Do the work on yourself. Like, work on yourself.
I've seen so many, unfortunately, I've seen so many women bring children into this world with heavy hearts. Whether it be from a past relationship, how they were raised, their situation, trauma, whatever trauma that they had, they get pregnant, and that's the joy that they find, because naturally women who, you know, they find joy in pregnancy and children. That's what it is. They get pregnant and they bond with that child.
Right.
And then the child grows up to resent men. I use myself as an example. My mom was not, she was a single mother for a very split second. My stepdad came in when I was young. I don't remember anybody outside of my stepdad, other than my dad. You know what I'm saying? Right. He's been around since I was 5 maybe. You know what I'm saying? That's 80% of my life.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I grew up resenting my stepdad because I didn't have my father. And I wanted my father to be my father. I'm not about to get deep into this, but
right.
I wanted my father to be my father. I wanted my stepdad over there. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I resented him because of him. And let's just go back to my example. Like, when kids don't, you start asking questions.
Right.
You know, like what if a young boy grew up didn't have a mother, and like his mother don't want him. You're like, oh, mom don't want me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I the youngest is like that. He feels like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's deep, bro. It's deep. So I feel like, going back to what I'm saying, I feel like people should go through a screening, checks and balances to be able to raise that child, because then we get situations. I'm not even gonna put an example or anything. We get situations like situations.
Right. Yeah.
And I could be completely wrong. Somebody may be a doctor that's watching this, and you know, a psychologist or, you know, something like that, and be like, well, it's this and that. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's just how I feel and how I see it from my experience. That's what they say. That's my truth.
Right.
That's my truth.
I don't know. That I'm just thankful for how I was raised. Like,
he said, I don't know about you niggas, but I had my parents.
Look, I'm just thankful for the experiences I've had, and I just try to be a positive light where I can.
And you do.
That's really man, it's tough out here.
It's tough. The world is tough. The world is tough. Sidebar. Speaking of the world is tough. My mother told me when I was young, she was like, don't have sex. And I was like, why? She was like, just don't. It's going to change your world.
Woo!
It's going to change. And we're not about to get deep into this. But I'm making a point. She's going to change your world. As soon as I got it, I think I was like 14 or 15. I got it super young. It literally opened my eyes up to so much that I probably was not ready for.
Yeah.
That leads me to the story of Adam and Eve.
Mm-hmm.
In the Bible, me being Muslim and you being almost agnostic, raised Christian.
Raised Christian.
You
Let's
know
just
what I'm saying?
leave it there.
I think the story of Adam and Eve wasn't about a fruit of apple. I think the story of Adam and Eve, I believe the story of Adam and Eve was based off a sexual encounter between Eve and the devil or the serpent. Because I don't even think the devil was a serpent. I don't even think the serpent was the devil. I just think it wasn't of God. It was of God because everything comes from God. And that serpent had a sexual intercourse with Eve. She liked it, told Adam to do it. And they had like this orgy type of thing going on. Something that you like. Look at him, raise his eyes, right?
No, I'm just
listen,
like,
hear me out though.
No,
And
it's making sense.
This orgy type of thing, God saw them and he shamed them. And that's why in the Bible it says that all of a sudden they realized they were naked. You didn't know that before.
Right.
And the apple, the seed, the garden of Eden. That's just one of my theories. That's one of my theories.
No,
I know I went left on that, huh? I had to switch the topic from the other the daddy conversation.
Just like that's deep. Like
that's one of my conspiracies that I believe.
I think there's always hidden meanings.
Or not even just
stuff.
believe. I believe it's possible, I should say.
Right. Man, yeah. I'm tired.
Well, that's it.
What is it? Blue and Chrisette?
Blueface.
I did it on purpose this time. I did it on purpose this time.
Is it blueprint and croissant tape? Croissant? Is it Bluetooth and croissant?
Well, it's Blueface and...
You gonna make me mess up. Blueface and Chrisean Rock.
Blueface and Chrisean Rock.
Chrisean Rock, yeah.
Blueface and Chrisean.
Yeah. Blueface like money. Like
yeah. Blueface and Chrisean. Take care of yourselves. Seriously, take care of yourselves. And anybody going through something like that, take care of yourself. Yeah. Just take care of yourselves. That's all I can really say. If you need to talk to somebody, talk to somebody. Whatever you need to do to take care of yourself, but do that.
I would say listen to the people that you claim to love. Majority of the time, they won't steer you wrong. I know in the relationship, sometimes your family may not like your significant other, and vice versa. But if it's becoming physical or even verbal, and your family is trying to tell you that they see a change in how you are as a person, that's when you should start to look at yourself and your situation and reevaluate. You should. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just giving you.
You recommendation.
I'm recommending
recommendations.
Just taking into consideration. I remember one time I was dating this girl, and yeah, I'm about to get there. You already.
Is the one I think?
Yes,
okay.
I was dating this girl, and it wasn't no physical or no verbal abuse, none of that. Oscar had a conversation with. I think this is my first time seeing my cousin in years. He's on the East Coast. Came back, for Christmas, And he had a conversation with her, and it was very simple. And he asked her a couple questions, and I knew where it was going. Right after the conversation, he pulls me outside, and he says, "Cousin, what do you see? What do you see with this girl?" I said, I'm having fun. I'm chilling out with this nut, getting to run around." He was like, "No, she's not it. You're better than that. Move on." Shortly after, because I listened, like I said before, I started to see this. He just opened my eyes up, and I started to see the signs in what he was talking about. Why? Because I trusted my cousin's judgment. He was a family member looking out for me. I could have brushed it off. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, she ended up walking the blade in Oakland, and she had another baby shortly after me and her broke up. I don't think I ever told you that, but yeah, she was a trouble person, and there's nothing wrong with anybody being troubled, but I was 18. I think she was like 22 or something like that. I had just turned 18, like fresh 18. She already had her situation. Long story short, I listened to my cousin, and I was able to understand what he was talking about because I trusted him. So you going through a situation, I know I'm long-winded. Jeez, I hate when I do this. You're going through a situation, somebody you trust is saying, giving you advice, just take it into consideration. You got anything else to add on that long-ass Martin Luther King speech I just gave?
Nah, just, folks, take care of yourselves. Like, seriously, just take care of yourselves. I don't know what that looks like for you, but just take care of yourselves. Like, that's hard, man.
It's hard.
Like,
It definitely is hard. And I don't want to come off preachy. I love people and I care so much.
Sometimes people need to be preached to.
Yeah, but I love people and care so much. I want to give the knowledge that I gained to everybody.
You want to pass it on.
Whether you take it or not,
right?
You heard it from me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, not even like, because I don't want the credit like you heard it from me, but I was able to get it off my chest to help somebody else.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? To share with somebody else. But shit, I ain't gonna lie. I'm trying to hit that snooze button because it's
time.
It's time. You know what I'm saying?
We out.
Make sure you guys like this video.
Subscribe
to the channel. Look at both cameras. Like this video. Subscribe to the channel. Again, follow the Instagram, You Good Digital. Follow the TikTok, You Good Digital. Follow the Snapchat, You Good Digital. Tap in with us. We got so much more content coming for 2023. Really about to go up. It's your boy Lonely Mosi.
Oscar.
You Good Digital podcast in full effect. We out.
We out.
Look, I ain't got to take off no lavaliers.